So I'm going to make a quick little video on how to do an oil change on a 2025 Acura Integra A-Spec. It's pretty much the same for any Integra with the 1.5 turbo with the CVT. It's a pretty simple job. All you really need is the Phillips and the flathead to take off the undershield, and I'll show that in a second. Oil filter wrench to take the oil filter off, and then a 17 millimeter for the oil drain plug. So if we get underneath the car here, you can see you have all around the shield right here, you have these require the flathead to get off, and then these require the Phillips. So you just unscrew these. It's pretty straightforward. Take all of those off. I'll show one flathead as well. There's even a little arrow right there, and you just spin it and it comes right out. So pretty straightforward. You do that all the way around, and then the shield will slide back that way. You'll see two little tabs right there, one right there and then one right there, and you just slide it off and it'll come right off. So as I was saying, I got all of them off, and now all that's left is just to pull it back, and see it comes straight down. Just set that to the side, back there. And now we look right over here. This right here is your oil drain plug, and then right here is your filter. And this requires a 17 millimeter. So now we just slide our oil down underneath, and then I'll be right back. I'll grab a 17 millimeter and we'll take that off. Alright, so I got my 17 millimeter. Put that on. And it shouldn't be too tight, pretty easy to break away. There we go. Set this up a little bit better. And let's see if I get messy or not this time. It could have been better, but keep that underneath. Put the bolt right there. Yeah. So I stick to 5,000 mile intervals. You can see that's not too terrible, but it does look, I want to say it looks blacker than it is on camera, or it's blacker on camera than it is in real life. But these cars, their intervals, they set, like the computer sets it to 7 to 10,000. I think that's a little too much for these motors, so I'd stick closer to 5. But whatever you're comfortable with, go ahead, do it. Now the next thing, let the oil drain for a little bit until it comes to a trickle. One very important thing I see a lot of people skip: this crusher washer right here, replace it every single time. When you go and buy a filter, ask for one of these. So you take the old one off, you put the new one on. And all this does is when you go to torque down this oil drain plug, as the name implies, it just crush washes against the oil pan and it creates a perfect seal. You can get away with reusing these maybe a few times, but if you keep doing it, it'll flatten it out, and then it might start leaking, and you do not want that. So once you change that, come back under. I always like to wipe down the area just a little bit, just in case there's any dirt. Please wipe that down a little bit. And thread on the drain plug. Hit it with some brake clean if you have some, but we'll just leave it like that. And then last step is tighten it down. Now that is a torque spec. If you don't want to do it with that, just do it tight, don't overdo it. Wait for it to get tight and just maybe a quarter more, maybe a little bit more, and that's enough. That's it. Now the next part, get this oil filter off. I only got one hand, so I set this up before I started recording, but you put the oil filter wrench around like this, and just same thing, lefty loosey. Squeeze the handles together and pull, and you'll see it starts moving. Once it lets go, you can pretty much just run the rest of the way with your hand. There you go. that drain for a little bit. I want to slip out of my hand. And there it goes. And that's pretty much it. Now, same thing we just did with the oil drain plug. You want to just clean around the outside, make sure there's no residue from the rubber on the old oil filter. So it's pretty bad lighting, but we'll try to do that. And then grab the new oil filter right here. What you want to do is that rubber gasket around the outside, you want to put a little bit of oil. Either put some on your finger and rub it around the outside, just do this a little bit. That's going to help the next time you go to take it off, it'll be easier so it's not completely stuck on. If you don't do this, you could have a stuck oil filter, and then it'll take you way longer to take this off. Instead of a 20-minute job, it'll be maybe a 2-hour job or longer. You just find the threads, just make sure it spins on. Get that going. Yeah, just spin that the rest of the way. And then with all my oil filters, I like to just go as tight as I can with my hand. So as much as my hand will let me. And then that's good enough. And that's pretty much it. So now you want to do the reverse order. Take that shield right there. You want to slide it. Make sure those hooks go on right there. And then the other one right here. Slide those on, and then make sure all the bolt holes align everywhere, and then start a few, make sure a few of them fit, and then tighten it down. And that's pretty much it. So now back at the top, we're almost done. Last thing is just take the oil cap off. You unscrew it. See right there, it says O20. So you want to put full synthetic OW20 in this vehicle and nothing else. Anything else could damage the car, and it takes 3.7 quarts. That's 3.5 liters or 3.7 quarts. Personally, you can choose whatever brand you like. I go with Mobil 1. Well, I know a lot of people use Liquid Moly, Castrol. Just about anything that's full synthetic, good brand, you'll be okay. And it's pretty straightforward. Just set this in here. Try to do this one-handed. Yeah, that's pretty much it right there. Now for the very last part, we just want to start the car. Make sure we got oil pressure, we do. And we're just going to reset the oil life maintenance light, which here it's at 50%, so it's not showing, but we can still reset it through. Okay, you want to go to vehicle settings and then swipe and hit maintenance info. And then select reset items. Let's see. And for this one, it'll be all do items. And we'll hit reset. And we'll go right there. You can see 100% oil life. Just like that, that's how you change oil on a 2025 Acura Integra with a 1.5 turbo engine.